How are you folks? Councillor Gavin Pepper here, and I'm here with Jackie Bride and Gwen McCauley. Jackie is 21-year-old Aaron's mum, and that's Aaron's sister, and they're going to tell you the story of Aaron Bride. Go ahead, Gwen.
Aaron was attacked on he was out with his pals in August 2021. He was on his way home. He was like most teenagers. He didn't know his limit with the beers and drink, so he had rang me mum to say that he was walking down O'Connell Street to get a bus home. My mum knew by his voice that he had had a little bit too much to drink, and she told him to get a taxi, that she had money at home to come get a taxi home. A couple of minutes after that, Aaron was then sexually attacked in town. Now, there's something that has never been brought out in the media. It's any of the media reports of it, that there was actually only 2 people that attacked Aaron. There was actually 3 people there that night. The third person actually recorded the attack on their phone. So that he was a friend of the other 2 attackers. He had deleted the video from his phone, but then the Gardaí were able to get it back. That was one of the things that we were kind of confused about as a family, because like to us there was nothing was ever done about him, because he was holding, to me, as far as we were concerned, he was holding back evidence of a crime. So that was kind of the first thing that hasn't been put out. So basically, as I said, Aaron had gone out. So we were waiting 2 years for a trial date. So it was a very long time. So I'll just bring it back to that night. So Aaron obviously had been attacked. There was the evidence that we had. There was 3 of Aaron's statements, CCTV footage of him getting onto the bus when he was leaving home, having his vodka and his Smirnoff Ice on the bus, as the kids do. And then he went obviously into town to meet his pals and obviously drank more. Yeah. There was CCTV footage from all different angles on O'Connell Street. He couldn't even walk, because myself and my mum were actually shown all the CCTV footage. He couldn't put one foot in front of another. Yeah. Like, he was absolutely paralytic. He talks about it. Yeah. So you could see the 3 of them coming behind him. It was an orchestrated attack. And I remember when the detective was sitting with us, and I looked at the detective and I said, "This is not their first rodeo." Yeah. And he agreed. It was too orchestrated. It was planned. Like, they had confidence in what they were doing. Like, at one stage, they, kind of smacked Aaron on the bum, and he literally, Aaron was quite tall and sturdy, but he was so drunk he nearly fell over. It was clear to see, like anyone with an ounce of intelligence would see how drunk he was. So then, obviously, they pushed him down Princess Lane beside the GPO, and they sexually attacked him. Now, by the grace of God, there was a patrolling Gardaí car with 3 guards in the car. They kind of noticed that something wasn't right, and thankfully they approached the scene. So the three preachers, I don't even know what to call them, the 3 of them dispersed from the scene. The guards then took chase after them. We were told that one of the guards, he was a male guard, and he was quite a sturdy man, and he had to run and actually rugby tackle one of them to the ground. Now, if you're not doing anything wrong, you're not going to run. So they were arrested, and they were refused bail initially. We got Aaron home, and the nightmare then obviously began then. Obviously, he was already after experiencing nightmare, but obviously he was, everything that he had gone through. Us as a family kept on saying, there's no way, they're not going to be granted bail. They're definitely a flight risk. That's how the first bail was refused. They've no ties to this country. Before they arrived in Dublin, they had been swanning around Europe. I don't know why anybody was swanning around Europe. It was in the middle of COVID. So we were trying to let Aaron know, look, don't worry, they're not going to get out on bail. There's no way they will. And lo and behold, a week later, we got a call from the detective to say that they were released on bail with strict bail conditions, which was their passports were removed and they had to sign on in a Garda station. So it was just a nightmare because Aaron, like after going through that, he didn't know where they lived. They could have lived around the corner from us. He suffered so bad. He went into anxiety. He was afraid to go out on his own. Like, you know, it just destroyed him, didn't it?
Yeah.
So we were obviously, as a family, we're like, you know, we count ourselves very lucky. There's, you know, Aaron is the baby of 7 siblings. I'm the eldest. And the support of our, you know, my mom's sisters and brothers and everything, cousins. We have a big family network. But this was just beyond us, wasn't it? Like, you know, we just didn't know how we could help him, you know. So then, unfortunately, Aaron turned to taking street benzos. They're by
Benzodiazepines.
yes.
Yeah.
So he started on them. So he had kind of, it wasn't a long, like a solid 2 years, was on and off, up and down on them. And God love him, he didn't want to be on them. And then we'd have to, they're very severe drug. That, you know, that if he was trying to come off them too quick, he was taking really bad seizures. Yeah, we were in and out of the hospital with him. So that we'd kind of get him on, then he'd come off them and he'd be fine, be back to Aaron again for a few months. And so this was going on for a good nearly 2 years, wasn't it, on and off? Yeah. So we had been given a date for trial, and that was the 4th of December last year. And both sides were ready to go, no issues. So we had met with Aaron's legal team prior to this, and we had, you know, had conversations with them. And I asked the question, I said, like, does Aaron need to be in this courtroom? We were trying to protect him as much as we could, you know, like we've never, you know, been through anything like this as a family, and touch wood, we never will be through this again. So they said no, once he just comes into court that day, then he can go.
We brought the victims.
Yes, so the victim support suite in the CCJ. I have to say, the girls in there are absolutely amazing. You know, it's a great thing in there, but it just wasn't made clear at the very start whether Aaron had to go to a court or not. So if you didn't kind of have a bit of cop on to kind of say and ask these questions, then there's a danger then that the victim is standing in the middle of the court. Do you know that kind of way? So we went in on the Monday. We had my sister Lisa on call, like, you know, waiting, rang her right, Aaron can leave. So we went down, myself and my mum. The only way I can describe the courtroom, it was like a cattle market, wasn't it?
Yeah, I'll never forget.
There was like people like everywhere. There was people standing up. Me and my mum, it was so intimidating for us, and we weren't the victim. I was like, this cannot be right, you know. So myself and my mum are standing beside each other, and 2 people down, there's Aaron's attackers.
They would have some.
They're beside us.
You had went into the bathroom.
Yes,
And I was
she had
standing
a
outside
feeling.
waiting. And I was standing outside waiting, and there was these 3 guys in front of me. It was 2 of them was them. And I don't know, I just knew straight away it was them. When came out, I said, that's them. I just, how do you even know that?
Yeah, there was
And
just
I said, I'm telling you now, it's them.
mother's instincts.
And we went into the court, and they together, it was them, because she looked at me, it was them.
So they're standing to, as I said, right, there's different cases being called, and look, you know, we're not, you're not used to being in courtrooms or anything. You're like, what is going on? You're trying to hear. It was an absolute disgrace. It was disgrace. So we were told on the Monday after that, no, it's not going to go ahead. Maybe Thursday. Then told on Thursday, or maybe Friday. So we're like, what is this, right?
Yeah.
So it was 3 times that 1 week. So the reasoning behind it was there wasn't enough judges. There wasn't enough courtrooms. There was other cases taken like preference over Aaron's case, which it just seems just so crazy that like people of sexual crimes, like why they're being dragged through the system like this. So that happened, and we had Aaron, you know, on the straight and narrow, and then Aaron then after that went down again. So it was only a couple of weeks. He had an extremely bad seizure because he didn't want to be on the pills. He had an extremely bad seizure. Rushed into hospital, a few hours in there. But he came to. It was just me. It had happened during the night with himself and my mum. And he went into, when Aaron came to properly, and he just looked at me mum and he said, "Mum, this is, I just can't do this anymore. I cannot let them ruin anymore." You'll be fine. He said, "Mum, I can't allow them to ruin any more of my life." And he meant it, didn't he?
Yeah.
So, he got himself off them, and he was back to our normal Aaron.
Linked in with the doctor.
Yes, so yeah, he linked in with the doctor.
The doctor had him on
very low anxiety meds. Yeah.
So then in the end, Aaron came back up one day. Remember, I've been down with the doctor. The doctor's brilliant. And he came up one day and he says, "Mum, I'm not taking that. The doctor's not giving me any more of the tablets." And I says, "Why?" He says, "I don't want them."
Yeah, that was March. That was a month before. It was March.
Leave. And we actually had Aaron back because Aaron was ready to fight, wasn't he?
But yeah, because we actually, or do you remember that? Because he came back up and he said it to us. And we said, "What?" So straight away we're going into protection mode. We know this trial is coming up next month. What's this going to happen? And he sat and he looked at us and he said, "No, I'm not doing this." He said, I said, "If you don't need to look at them in the court, blah blah." "No, I'm doing it. I'm facing them. They cannot get away with doing this to me or doing it to anybody else."
They've been in his life for years.
Yeah. So, we were planning to go back in April. I feel like I'm forgetting something there. But yeah, no, we planned to go back in April, and we went in, the same story again. The very same thing happened. So we went in on the Monday, and we were told then maybe the Thursday and then maybe the Friday. Didn't happen again. So I just want to make a note on that as well. When this all started with prior to the trial, and we were speaking to the legal team, and I said, "Look, if Aaron isn't able to actually stand in the court with these, with the attackers, I'm watching TV and all, can you do like a video link, Oh no, that's only for special cases."
Yeah.
So I went, "What?" I said, "Well, how more special can this get?" I just couldn't believe it that this option of a video link isn't offered to every sexual attack victim. But it's not. It's not. And I said, "Well, I'm letting you know now that if he doesn't want to walk into that courtroom, he's not walking into it." And we were basically then told in a nutshell, "Well, if you can't give evidence, then there's no case." So
in fairness, we didn't understand that.
No, but not that. No, this is the video link.
Oh yeah.
So so it was put back until November, the 4th of November. So another few weeks away. So we went off on a nice family holiday to Greece, didn't we? In May. Yes, we went off, and because we'd actually only lost Mick, my mum's husband, and Aaron's dad last February. So there's been an awful lot going on. But so we went off. So obviously Aaron was brilliant. He was back to him. We hadn't seen him like that, and it was really great to see him full of life, and back to himself. Yeah, it really was. It was amazing. But unfortunately, he went to bed on the 2nd of July, and my mum went up to wake him the next morning, and he was gone.
No, I was talking to him.
Oh yeah. But
because at that morning he came down the stairs about 20 to 12. I was buying my grandson. And he was looking for the skybox.
Oh yeah.
I could have a skybox out of the kitchen for my bedroom, So yeah, you can't come down and get it yourself. And he went back up the stairs, and then a while later went up to put clothes. About 40 minutes later, went upstairs to put away some clothes, and I looked in his room and I thought he was after going back to sleep. So I said, "Aaron, you're not after going back to sleep, are you?" And he just backed to the wall to me, and I said, "Aaron, are you going to sleep?" And I tapped him on the back. And then when I turned him around, he was just blew around about here. So we got him back. We got him back twice before the ambulance came, but then we lost him.
So I just want to as well, like there's obviously when like stories like this come out and there's kind of, you know, rumours and everything like that. Aaron did not commit suicide. If Aaron had have committed suicide, we'd have no problem as a family to say that. Yeah. But he didn't. It was a cardiac arrest. You know, it was not got to do with that.
So for everybody listening to that, so for any misinformation going around, family are clarifying here that it was a cardiac arrest and Aaron died in his sleep. Is that correct?
Yeah, thank you very much. So then, so it was about 3 weeks after Aaron had left us, and I contacted the detective because we said, look, we still need to fight this. You know, we were being very naive, maybe a little bit silly, not understanding that, you know, what the outcome, what would happen. So I called the detective and he advised, he said, like, look, he said, generally these cases, they won't be brought to trial. And I was like, what? I was absolutely mind blown. I understand that, unfortunately, with a lot of these kind of attacks, it's generally one person's word against the other. And it is very unfortunate in them cases, but Aaron's case is like completely different. There is like so much evidence, videos, everything. So I wrote a letter to the DPP. I did a follow-up call a week later, spoke to a lovely girl in there. She advised that it had been passed on to the proper people, so that we would hear back. So it was a few weeks, wasn't it? And I got a call last Monday evening from the detective, and he said that they would like to meet with us to confirm the legal side and to why the case wouldn't be brought to court. Oh, excuse me. So we went in last Thursday and met them. They were like they couldn't have treated us with any more respect. They were very informative. They brought us through the whole kind of legal side of things, like, you know. So in a nutshell, Aaron's statements, the 3 statements, will be taken out as evidence because he's not here to be cross-examined. So I said, right, okay, but if you did bring it to court without the statements, and they said, well, straight away what the defence would do is that they would then put in, like, you know, a request for the CCTV footage to be taken out again because Aaron isn't there. So, look, we went through the rigs and rolls of it. They did explain it all out. They gave us plenty of time. We were in there for a couple of hours with them, which we did appreciate as a family, but it's still not good enough. You know, these people were allowed freedom to walk the streets around Dublin, where, like, Aaron was actually more of a prisoner in here in his own country, in his own his own place where he lived, like, all his life. He was afraid to go out. He was afraid to do all this, and mental torture of it. And they're just able to swan and walk around the streets with nothing. You know, like, it's just mind blowing. Like, even like, we were even kind of a bit nervous, Mum, when we were in the court the second time, and they sorry, no. So myself and my mum were in the court the second time in April, and the attackers were there, and there wasn't as many people in the court this particular day, and one of them actually just kept on glaring and kind of smirking at us. And so much so, one of the accused.
And the detective told us
actually came outside and said,
don't even look at them.
Don't even look, don't give them any acknowledgement. We were just like, what is going on? So then they knew who we were. And myself and my mum were leaving the court. And I said, Mum, they could follow us. Do you know that kind of way? They could actually... So then we were kind of like, the way your head works.
Waiting for them to go.
Are they going to follow us? Or, you know, like... So then we're then feeling intimidated, and we're not the victim. You know, there's just, like, we can't, like, we tried everything, like, that we could to try and, like, you know, get justice for Aaron, you know, but, like, they're gone. They were brought into court. This is another thing as well. So the trial was set for the 4th of November. We met with the team there last Thursday. And they said the next step is they will be called into court. It will probably happen in about 2 weeks, and basically told, it's a Latin word, they'll be told basically that they can't null prosecute or something like that, I think it's called. that there's no prosecution, they can't, so the case is gone, and they walk out. Literally, we'd only left them,
Yeah.
and within the hour, I got a message to say, look, the date, it's happening on Tuesday morning, and you know, that's the end of it. And I said to my mum, I said, like, they're even getting, like, they don't even have to wait for their 3 weeks for the trial that was meant to be going ahead. They're being told straight away, no lads, off you go.
Yeah.
You know, like, even that, like, my mando made a good point. You said that
they're just getting rid of
to free of
nothing
courts.
in the courts.
Yeah.
Free of the courts. There's like, every time you go up, you're being put off and being put off and being put off, because there's just not enough judges. There's not enough courts. There's nothing. So,
Not enough room.
like, literally, it was a good point. Like, it's literally, there's that many people in our country now that they want more guards in the streets. We got more guards in the streets. The guards are arresting people. The guards are bringing them to court. But nothing happening in court. So they're all out on bail. So they're all still on the streets. Like, in their case, they were on the streets for 3 years.
it's over.
You know?
It's actually, yeah, it's over 3 years. You know,
You
but
know,
so as a family, what we would like to do, we would like to change, like, the system in which, like, sexual attack victims are treated.
Mm-hmm.
So if there's a court date, it's on that date, because even, like, the mental anguish for us as a family, let alone what Aaron was going through, but for us, you're building yourself up emotionally. You're like, right, we can do this. Like, it's absolutely horrendous to be standing in a room with people that have done this to somebody that you love. You know, it is the most surreal feeling in your life, and all you're hoping for, it's like, no, we're sticking with it. We've all of this evidence. They're bound to rights, and then only for this to happen. You know, like, there's people actually now. I posted some, like, the video that I did yesterday, and there's people private messaging me, people that know me, and said, "Gwen, I didn't realise this was happening." So, well, we didn't. We're a private family, you know, but we didn't feel the need to have to go out and reach to the public for help or support, because we went, well, we've got everything there. Like, this is definitely, like, you know, they were literally caught red-handed by 3 of our Gardaí.
So much CT.
Oh my God! Everything. So this is, so in a nutshell, we need, what we want is, you know, as soon as there's a date set, that's the date.
Yeah.
I feel that every sexual attack victim has the right to do a video link.
Yep.
If that I don't understand how that's not set in stone already. And third, which is probably a bit of a reach out, but I think there should be a private courtroom for these cases.
For sexual assault cases, yes.
And
that shouldn't be where a load of everybody else.
Like, why is it all, it's dragged out too long?
Absolutely.
I mean, why?
Yeah.
When it's all ready to go, you have a judge ready, you're saying you're ready to go, you know that judge is ready to go, you go, you're not letting people suffer anymore, like, I know,
You okay? I also feel as well that that people that are being arrested for sexual attacks, I do understand that people, you know, proven innocent until proven guilty. I do understand that, but it's very unfair that these people can walk our streets where the victim doesn't know where they are, or in some cases the victim probably knows where they are and where they live. That it's something needs to be done about that as well. You know, like, why should they be walking the streets?
We shouldn't be when it comes
and especially, I think, again, and it's just with the amount of evidence, but I really don't think as well. I do think that it should be a quicker process.
Yes.
You know, get them in, bail, and, like, they should be just kept there, you know, and then get the court, get a heard, make kind of a decision then, and get the trial in. It's horrendous, the road of going through it, and we're not the only family that has gone through this, unfortunately.
No.
You know, but look, Aaron has gone 15 weeks today, and as a family, this is just, look, I'm having a strong day today, you know, tomorrow I'll probably be on my knees again, you know, but it's just horrendous, and us as a family, we're gonna try and make change and do it in Aaron's name.
To help somebody.
Like,
the law can't have this being dragged out on these people. Like, with Aaron, it was 3 years, and, like, the mental torture, like, that he went through, us, the family that we went through, it's just not fair on people to be left holding like this. You know, they should make it really, when they have the evidence, everything's in front of them, They're telling you you're ready to go. Yeah, you were ready to go, and with the judge ready, let's go.
Yeah.
I think they make a point too. There's Aaron. Look at this family is making heartbreaking, harrowing story. We need judicial reform in this country. Sex attack victims should not be in the same courtroom as other criminals. It's totally different. It's special circumstances. Aaron deserves the justice. This family did not get justice. Also, video link for sex attack victims should definitely be part of a case. They should not have to stand on a trial and face the people that attacked them. The CCTV footage, as the family has said, is clear cut in this case. Yet, by the looks of it, Aaron won't get the justice that he deserves. So change needs to happen. Complete judicial reform in Ireland, where when these criminals commit these crimes, they will not get away with it and they will face justice in court. But unfortunately here, in this case, this family has lost a loved son and it's heartbreaking. Now the system needs to change. It's as simple as that. I'm sorry if I can't keep a straight face in relation to this, but like there's only so much a person can deal with, and this family's he's gone forever. And did they get justice? No, because of the failure of this country and the government to put in the proper procedures for to deal with these cases.